away, and I had a couple other sounds that I got from other places. This is like a classic. This sound right here. This is like one of my classic bounce snares right here, and this kick. That was pretty much the pattern. You heard this maybe once or twice in it. This another snare that was in it. The hi-hat, triple, crash. The reason why I even liked putting crashes in songs, Ice-T, 6 in the morning. You know, it had that iconic break, like, you know what I'm saying? Every time it went around, where it was like, word, you know. So I just took a lot of elements from songs that I thought like, okay, these are the reasons why people like these songs.
Morning. I don't know if people will get the notification anytime soon, but that's fine. If you're watching this later, I'm listening to something on Facebook. Making of Juvenile's Back That Ass Up. Classic song. Bounce music. It's the other type of music that comes out of Louisiana. Specifically New Orleans. Specifically. So I never do how Manny Fresh made the song. I just know that women start dancing when it comes on, so it's very special. Where is? That's what I want to do. That's some good history. Where is? Huh. Where is it? I don't think notifications are fucked up today. Oh well. I just had. Huh. Oops. Okay. That video. Oh, notifications won't work now. Is that what it wants to do? Is that what it wants to do? If you are getting a notification, say something in the chat. There we go. Okay. Actually, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. Where is... have some music playing because I go get some stuff. Wait for notifications to kick in and put on pants. Yeah, it's a long intro. Wait, what? Hold on for a second. I just got a notification from. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the notification system today. So Brett Keane put a copyright strike on Skylar Fiction's channel. So it looks like Keen's starting to false flag people again. Well, that's interesting. This never works out for him. I don't know why he didn't learn. Because it's the second that people make a concerted effort, his channel's going away again. So he never fucking learns. Yes, there is a penalty for people false flagging. Yes, there is. Yes, there is actually. Part of the reason he lost his other channels, but I guess there's going to be another push again to get Keen off. He never fucking learns. He never fucking learns. Oh well. Looks like he's had his fun. All right. So. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the notification system. That's why I just let it play until people get what they're gonna get. So, some of y'all in the drag chat were telling me about the crazy bitch again. So I wanted to briefly address some of her crazy, even though I probably shouldn't. So let me grab. So someone actually folks told me about Mr. Like Branson, 1974. And Steve Bowden. Okay, hey, yes, Steve, put that in the Dragoon chat and tag me, and I'll get the notification so I can look at it later. Yeah. Ex Jehovah's Witnesses are interesting people, as a group, you know. So, evidently, somebody left. Someone made a video towards Nisha, and so I'm gonna play the video, and I'm gonna play her response to the video, and I want to see if y'all get just a tinge of irony here. Okay, so yeah, this is Libranson, I think, or Libranson, 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 1974, and he's just like, it's a phone video. Landscape mode, brother. Landscape mode. You see what I got here? Don't do that portrait shit.
Yo, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, yo. Nisha, the boss lady, I don't know what's wrong with you, huh? But something, the aromatherapy, something, whatever you doing, you need to chill, seriously, because you making black folks look really bad, man. Seriously. I mean, I'm not a dragoon. I watch Dragknot. I think Dragknot makes a lot of sense. And
Sometimes.
from what I heard from you, I mean, you're talking about dragons and parasites and shit.
Right?
Like, yo, seriously,
Crazy shit.
whatever that shit you on, you need to leave that shit alone.
I think she has
You're
bipolar
dead
disorder.
serious, yo. I'm ashamed, like, really, see a sister like acting like that shit. And I mean, and you can talk about me or whatever. I'm not really in the community like that, but I just came across the video because Drag was talking about that shit. And yo, for real, I know somebody that was a Jehovah's Witness, until they find out about all that bullshit. But I'm not even about to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But really, this is just a message for you. I mean, this internet shit that you doing, I don't think you want any of that. But have a nice day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He came across her channel because she's making videos to me and directed at me and tagging me and shit and trying to tug at my dick. And so he's like, "You looked it bad, bitch. You looked it bad." And it's like, calm the fuck down. You don't want any of this stuff. You just probably slow the fuck down. All right. That's fair enough. He threw his shade there a little bit. Fair enough. But here's the response. There. Okay. Thank you. I see a message, Steve.
So last night,
His response.
they had me moving all my data to another platform because basically I finished my job, my last task. And so when I was wrapping up moving all my data to another platform,
Y'all need to stop doing
I saw
portrait
this
mode.
thirsty teenage mutant ninja turtle nigga leaving me a video. This nigga in his bed, hella desperate. I don't even know who this is, but he want to drag Knots people. And see what drag Knot in them
Didn't he just say that he's not a dragoon? Like he just said, "I watch him and I found your shit." Like he just said he wasn't.
do is they fucking stalk you, and then they have these sock accounts because they punks. And so
Okay, let me explain. He's not using a socket. That's his main account. You can tell because there's hardly shit on there, and he doesn't actually participate in anything. If he has a second account that he's using, he has a ton of subscribers, ton of videos and stuff like that, and this little one here that doesn't have anything on it, then you could probably say that. But that just based on the date on his channel, we go back to it. We go to where is it? Yeah, he has some stuff on here. He has entire playlists on here. You don't put playlists on sock accounts. Like he lit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he has a 100 playlists. 6. He has 6 playlists. One of these playlists has 74 videos on it. The other one has 69. That takes some time to construct, okay? This isn't a sock account. Like he has tons of like videos and subscriptions and shit like that. He doesn't have any subscribers because he didn't produce content. I think this is his only video that he makes. Wait, by the way, G-Man called me and told me that my computer was infected. I need to allow him to connect to fix the hackers. Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You should definitely do that. Definitely do that. You know, I do get blamed for weird things. I'd like to take credit for certain things, but this is not this guy's sock account. This just looking at it, he's not a content producer. But it's not quit using terms that you don't know. Like you just heard sock account like probably 2 days ago. Quit it. Okay? Like you've only been in the community for a hot week maybe. Stop it.
So they like to be alias and stuff.
Yes.
And so
How is he being? I don't know what the fuck that means. Like what? You can see him. You can see him. He's not hiding his fucking face. Are you retarded? He's not hiding himself. How can he use an alias using his real face? Think about that, dumbass. God, you are fucking stupid. Do you know what any of these words mean? You're just saying things. Just words are coming out. I need a victim narrative. What can I say? Alias, suspect. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle looking at that. Just stop. You're proving his point. You're proving his point. You looked it bad.
oh, this
Just
nigga
say
right
Louisiana.
here but I don't even know this nigga, but he from Dragnot's
Just said he
Dirt
wasn't.
Squad.
Thirst Squad.
I was like, you thirsty, crispy Ninja Turtle. You hella desperate for my attention. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So now someone's desperate for her attention. Meanwhile, she makes 3 videos towards me, to which I don't really respond, tagging me, putting my name in it, And then like, does anybody else see the irony in this? In any of this, does anybody else see the irony there? It's like, yeah, yeah. You know how many messages I got from folks saying this bitch wants your dick? Man, she's thirsty. Why does she want you? Man, she must be real jealous of Mrs. D. Gosh, you know, is she another groupie? Like, I'm getting all these fucking messages, but it's like it's pure projection. I tell you what, there's about good 3 or 4 women who want my dick in this community. So you got a line.
Luke. And I told him I'll send him some body butter for the white around his lips. But why is this motherfucker making a video in the bed to a
Can I send you some Haldol? Can I send you some? Oh, actually, let me replay this one part.
spook?
She called him a spook.
And I told him I'll send him some body butter for the white around his lips. But why is this motherfucker making a video in the bed to a married woman?
Why are you making videos to a married man, dumb bitch? At what point did that not occur to you that you've seen my wife in the fucking background? Like I refer to her in every other video. So you can make videos to a married man, tag him in it, call him all kinds of shit, all these kind of weird little gestures about eating and putting shit in your mouth, but somebody makes a video towards you and all of a sudden they're the desperate and thirsty one. Okay, just
that I don't even fucking know. And then he tried.
I don't know you. Oops. I muted it.
Look at his pencil head. That dude got a eraser head. What's up with y'all? Looking like a Aladdin genie. I'm gonna put him in a pencil sharpener. But yeah, this the shit. So they had me move all my stuff because these niggas.
Like, what does this got to do with shit? Like, she went from talking about him to her work. Like, this is just
hella thirsty, but I finished everything on time. So I'm out.
I'm just maybe it's just me, but she seems a little conceited, just a little bit. And this is, I'm going to be honest, this is part of the reason why I have an aversion towards my fellow light-skinned folks. Some of y'all are so fucking conceited because you don't pass because you do pass a paper bag test, because you are lighter than a brown paper bag. And white folks, if y'all know what that is, you can look up a paper bag test. Because some of y'all can pass the paper bag test, y'all think that y'all are fucking God's gift to the goddamn world. No, my fellow light-skinned people, you just a piece of shit just like everybody else. Stop it. Stop it. You are not that cute. You are not just let me, because you like talking about other people's personalities. Let me put something out there, okay? Let me put something out there, sweetness, peaches. Stop it. Okay? The crazy bitch shit, that's not cute. This the with the crystals and the water snakes and the staff and all this other crazy bullshit, that's not fucking cute. Okay? Some of us like women of substance. Some of us like women that got some shit up here. They ain't gotta be talking about philosophy and shit all the time. They ain't gotta be talking about fucking science. But man, I'm just saying, hey Grant, I'm calling. Hey, you know what? I'm calling out. Light skinned folks need to call out the light skinned folks. Grant, you know it, fellow light skinned brother. But man, you are not that fucking special. I don't get that. Like, just get out of that fucking mindset. Get out of that mindset. You just as average as any other woman walking the fucking street. Just stop it. My goodness. That is annoying.
In time. But that's why they moving me. Because thirsty niggas with penis-shaped heads in the bed sending a married woman messages.
So you have to move because something tells me that you probably, just like you're doing here, are taking something that's fairly mundane and not sexual, and you're turning it sexual because you're sexually frustrated. and you're projecting your sexual frustration upon the others. Something tells me that has a little relevance in real life. That's not to say that doesn't happen to actual women, because I know women who get sexually harassed on the work job. That's yeah. But something tells me that you might not be telling the whole story. I just based on what I see here, because there was nothing about his video that was sexual, but there's a whole lot about your videos that are sexual, and there's lots of other people, including women, who are pointing it out. So
hella thirsty. Hella thirsty with his 6 views. Ain't nobody got time for you, bro.
And this video has 44 views. He's not a content maker. Why would he have views?
You should leave married women alone.
You should leave married
and
men
y'all
alone.
Should stop being little punks talking about y'all not doing nothing, but y'all are. Making it seem like it's me. Y'all hella thirsty. And the messed up part about
Maybe
it is y'all was cute. I might tolerate it, but y'all hella ugly.
Somebody's
So anyway, I'm out, you guys. I got a new platform. On to the next job. Elon Musk, he'll keep y'all updated on Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
Who cares?
My Facebook is very private for niggas like this. Thirsty niggas like this.
Why are you zooming in on it?
So anyway, bye you guys.
Crazy ass. Okay, so I did catch another video of hers, because people said that she had made a whole bunch. I need to explain something real quick to Nisha, because the definition of reaching is you bitch. So if y'all want to see something hilarious, and again, here she is tagging me in the shit. So if you type in, I'm pretty sure she's doing this for views, but whatever. But ironically enough, she disabled comments. It's me thinks that she can't really take criticism very well. So yeah, tagging a married man. So how many of y'all know that I was playing Atlas? The game called Atlas, ATLAS. Okay. How many of y'all know what an atlas is? If you have a rough idea. If you don't, I'm going to give you the definition. I'm going to show you something very interesting, okay? All right. The formal definition of an atlas is a book of maps or charts. Most of you probably had some idea of what an atlas is. All right. So here's where her mind goes, because in her grand wisdom, here's how she connects dots in this video, because I had to sit down and really think about how she even came to this. So she takes a screenshot of me going, woo, I guess. And Nisha, here's the attention you desire. And then it shifts to her taking a portrait photo of Atlas Gameplay A1 Gaming Community Server, and it's the thumbnail that I use for the Atlas videos of me playing Atlas, the game. Okay, still with me? The next is there's music playing, so she then goes to a YouTube video of, it's called DJ's Aviation. It's a channel about planes. And an Atlas Air Boeing 767-300ER operating for Prime Air with Amazon has today crashed. Okay, so a plane named Atlas, an Air Boeing, crashed. Okay, still with me here? So we went from a pirate game with the name of a book of charts and maps to a plane, a Boeing plane that crashed. Still okay, good, still with me. Now, then it goes to Yahoo, the search engine. The latest bodies taken from Texas plane crash site ID'd, and it's some some black dude, and he's just kind of like whatever. So evidently, some guy has died from a plane crash, and according to this, it happened like 9 hours ago. Okay. Now, so here's where it gets interesting. So how does this have anything to do with me? It doesn't. Now, if you look in the description now, because I was like, is she retarded? The answer is yes. But if you look in the description, it says prior before the crash, and she puts Proverbs 16:18. There's some video I didn't watch. The dead don't know they dead. That's the fascinating part. Notice he criticizes Bible believers, but he never has one in his hands nor quotes from it. He won't even touch it. But this is all one sentence. Emoji. That's a clear sign of what he is. And there's Ecclesiastics, and there's some shit. They're disembodied spirits. Bye. Evidently, I'm this guy who died in a plane crash because she found the same name of the game that I play on a plane that crashed. I don't know how her husband puts up with that amount of crazy. I really like. Is there an off button that you push or something like that? Or you just wave your dick and she shuts up. However you do it, man. Tell me your secret, because guys around the world would love to know how to contain that crazy. That right there is pure and adulterated fucking stupid. Don't know how she connected these dots, but it does tell me that she's in desperate need of medication and some attention, because he ain't giving that to her either. Anyway, folks, if y'all want to go and look at that crazy, feel free. This is the worst fan fiction I've read since Twilight. So thank you, Nisha the Boss Lady, for showing us that light-skinned folks are still fucking crazy and irrelevant. So you get a golf clap. All right, on to the main course, folks. On to the main course. Now, I'm at 3 hours and 57 minutes, 31 seconds. And fucking Raging Atheist is pretty well sloshed. He's pretty well gone now. And so we've gotten the retard at about 80, I think I said 85% last time. So let's listen to what's going on.
Anybody that's willing to go through it, and get beaten to the point to where they don't die, but they're beat the fuck up.
That's not true. That's not
Please
true.
go through it for me and prove to me that you were ready to do that.
That's assault. That's called assault.
I want to point out that Brett King is trying to instill some calm here. So let's let Brett King speak.
Yeah, I wanted to say, guys, remember when we're doing Google Hangouts, if everybody speaks at the same time, the people on the outside will not be able to understand.
We're retreading old ground.
Like the demon from the Bible. Demon, hello? Anybody home? Marty, you guys don't hear me? Now, I wanted to ask you something.
I want my position to be properly represented, and I want.
All right, go ahead and properly represent.
Real quick, G-Man.
Yeah, so Brett Keane is the voice of reason in this goddamn hangout. That's crazy. But people messaged me and wanted part 2, so I'm doing part 2. And it's this. I only have enough time for so much AIDS this morning. Because as much as I love Audible AIDS, no.
I just want to say that I love your passion. I'm a passionate guy, and I love your passion.
That's great. And define what it means to be an indentured servant.
To me, an indentured servant is somebody that is forced to pay off a debt against their will in an immoral way. Like, as the Bible says, you can. And the Bible, speaking of slavery, but we'll say indentured servitude, that you can beat a man as long as he's not Jewish.
Okay, you're going on a different
topic. That's
not indentured servitude in Scripture. Indentured servitude is when a person, one or two things, where a person is willfully becoming a slave because he cannot fend for himself. That is not immoral because he made a willful decision to become an indentured servant.
All right, explain that.
Okay, Okay. So
He's
did you
about
see my
80%.
conversation that I had with Matt Dillahunty regarding this?
No, I did not. I'll be honest.
Okay. So what you need to understand is, number one, an indentured servant is somebody who willfully becomes someone else's slave or servant, for X amount of years.
Okay. But the Bible speaks specifically.
Hold on a minute. I'm not done yet. But I'm not done yet because I don't want no confusion on this. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
That person will willfully become someone else's slave. You cannot call that immoral, especially if somebody is willfully doing it. Number two.
No, I will not call that.
If you owe somebody a certain amount of money, or you committed a crime or whatever, a person would have to serve somebody for 6 years, and in the 7th year they would be let go. There are certain things that you cannot do to your slave.
That's correct.
So this is retreading a little ground that I covered last time. Now, he understands certain distinctions, such as the indentured servitude versus sex slavery versus chattel slavery. He's against chattel slavery, but he's fine with indentured servitude because you voluntarily engaged in the exchange. Okay, well, that's all fine and dandy. What he doesn't seem to understand is that just because there are rules doesn't mean that they're enforced. There's lots of rules that exist. There's old laws on our books that just aren't enforced. And then the reality of it is that if this system was as viable as he believes it is, we would still have it to this day. Countries around the world would not make tremendous efforts trying to stamp out slavery. So thinking on a more, I guess, a holistic level, thinking on a more complex level and putting in, the reality of the situation is hard for him. Again, he's a simpleton, okay? So if it's not really there in black and white and simple, with very few syllables, he can kind of understand it. So that's why you're seeing him get frustrated, because in his mind, things are very, very simple. Square hole, square peg. It's simple. It's like that. But reality is not that simple all the time.
Believes that that you can rape your slave, you can do all that. No, you cannot do those things.
Yes, you can actually do those things.
On your definition of rape, dude. Let me speak now, please. All right, you made a point.
But go ahead.
You made a point. Let me speak to that.
Yeah.
Now, say a woman, all right, that's husband has died, is now forced to marry her brother. She doesn't want to marry the husband's brother, right? She doesn't want to do that. But God says it's true, and he forces him.
Okay, if you're looking, I'm at the 4-hour mark and 34 seconds. He's not listening to anything that Raising is saying. Well, Jack, how do you know that? He's holding up his Bible. He's doing all this and bobbing and all this bullshit. This lets me know that he's about at 80-something, a little bit above 80%. He's getting more rowdy. He's interrupting more, and he's just listening for certain words. He's not actually paying attention. So when he gets called out on this, he gets upset because he goes, "G-Man, what?" He said, "G-Man, what? Can you summarize what I just said?" "No, I can't summarize what I just said. Yeah, and he starts foaming at the fucking mouth. If y'all want to fuck with him, ask him just a quick summary of what you just said, just to the best of his ability. Every single time, you will see what he picks up on, because it's either going to be two things. You're gonna fucking incite his rage, and he's gonna fucking rage quit like a fucking child. Or he's going to tell you the key words that he was listening for, and that lets you know what you need to be wary of, because from that, you could say, well, you know what, picking up key terms isn't necessarily a bad thing. We all pick up key terms and key phrases and what each other's saying. That's right. We take it, though, in the context in which it was stated. He doesn't do that, nor is he interested in doing that. What he wants to do is to take what you're saying and pivot to somewhere that he feels comfortable, because in his simple mind, that's where you're going to go. Because he can't conceive of someone making a point and then expounding upon it and then adding context, adding nuance. So keep that in mind. If something that you can say can be taken out of context, make sure that you are filling your statement, that it's succinct, mind you, because if it's more than 2 sentences long, and when I say a sentence, 5 or 6 words. 5 or 6 words. Keep it very short. Very few syllables. Very, very few syllables. If it has 3 syllables or more, he's going to struggle with it, because again, there's only a short attention span that you're working with, and you don't have a lot of RAM up here dealing with this dude. All right, that's why he has to constantly interrupt people, because he can't fill his head with so much stuff. He's picking up on words. His head's filling up with things that he needs to spit out. And so the impulsivity starts kicking in the more it's filling up. And you'll see that probably later on in this conversation. I don't know if Carlton's here, but it seems like because he's at 80%, he's reaching that max. So
himself upon her, is that rape?
Okay, number one, that's a hypothetical that we
No,
don't.
that's what the Bible says.
That is not that is a hypothetical that you made up. That is not in Scripture. Why don't you?
Actually, the Old Testament does say that, but that's the Old Testament. We're
No,
under
the
the New Covenant.
It don't count.
Continuous
the Old Testament don't count.
I mean, you've done well so far.
There's nothing wrong with that. The situation that he's coming up with is a total lie, and he can't show me in Scripture.
No, it's in the Old Testament. I forget where the hell it's at, but it is in the Old Testament.
No, it's not. Show me where it is. I can.
I'd have to Google it.
No, you're not in here yet.
It's not there. I promise.
Oh boy.
There is a difference between indentured servitude and what you see in the transatlantic slave trade. Now,
It's
you
called
said
chattel.
that you believe that.
Look, listen. I've explained this to you before, retard. What you're talking about is called chattel slavery. If you're going to mention the type of slavery that begat you and I, it's kind of helpful to fucking know what it's called, okay? Just that's why I love talking about Black history, or he thinks it's Black history, because he knows nothing about it. He knows actually nothing. And his friend, what was his friend? Arcane, who thought, because I was, are you more of a Marcus Garvey or W.E.B. Du Bois? You know what? Yeah, because I was like, if you guys want to talk about this, sure, I happen to know quite a bit about it. I just don't talk about it. So it's a small point, but if you're going to trumpet this, if you think this is the smack dab, this is your ace in the hole, at least know the three types of slavery, at least know what they're called and why they're different, and why we're still struggling with at least one type here in our modern society.
If a person willfully becomes a slave, that is somehow immoral. What basis are you using to come to the conclusion that's immoral?
Basis for morality.
I'm sorry, I'm looking up what we're talking about.
I think he said it wasn't immoral.
Slavery is mentioned in more than one book in the Old Testament, and it's expounded upon and it's clarified the farther you go outside of the first 5 books.
Yeah, I'm not even going to do that as
Now,
take away from the conversation. I don't have to defend it. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, the Jews had
It's
this
in the Bible.
concept of ownership as far as indentured servitude of a Jew, a Jewish male, had to be freed or given the opportunity to be free on the Jubilee. But if he had a wife and children, those remained the property of the owner.
Exactly.
The Jewish man had the option to have an awl, AWL, his ear pierced, and thus he became property for the rest of his life. So he's in a catch-22. He can be free, but he has to leave his wife and kids.
Okay, so you hear Sister Sunshine expounding upon a bit of a, let's see, call it a catch-22. It's kind of an issue. Do I forsake my family and get my freedom, or do I stay a fucking slave forever? So now, here is where most of us go home for a second. What kind of contract is that? You're effectively getting towards the end of a contract, and now there's a clause in this contract where it's no longer a contract, it's forever. Now you've moved from indentured servitude to chattel slavery. If you take option B, which is the all, and to stay with your fucking family, you become a chattel slave. Now, it doesn't take a genius to listen to the context to understand the difference between those two, but we're talking about a simpleton, okay? A pure, unadulterated, fucking star-nated fool who can't understand basic goddamn English, who can barely fucking read and type as is, okay? Now, Sister Sunshine TV is explaining this. I'm curious if he's actually listening to what she's saying and understanding and comprehending the catch-22 that's being put forth.
Kids, or he could enter into a lifelong contract. Now, you also had war booty, which was when the Jewish people were instructed that when they took captives, they were to kill the men, the boys, and the non-virginal women. But they could keep the young virgins for themselves. They gave them a month to come to terms with the fact that they were now owned by these Jewish men. The men went in unto them after shaving their heads, trimming their nails, etc., and dwelt with them. So we have a form of sexual slavery there.
That's true. Now that's actually the third type, sexual slavery. So you have all three types. You have indentured servitude, forced labor, which in this case is sex, and then now you have the chattel slavery too. Man. So again, Sister Sunshine's over here putting it down biblical style. He's not paying attention. He's looking over here. He's typing stuff in the side chat. He's not paying attention at all. I think she meant trimming nails. I'd have to look at the verse. I'm not sure really. Not sure. She might have said turning. I thought she said trimming.
Like what we see
Gotta be
happening
nice
with
nails looking nice
Muslims
before
in
the
the
rape.
Middle East today with
Very important.
Kurdish women and Yazidi women. You also had the concept of foreign slavery altogether, right? Because the Egyptians obviously practiced it, etc., which is why the Jews developed, after they left the slavery of Egypt, they said you could no longer have a Jewish slave, hence the Jubilee year, because it was repugnant to them, because after they were slaves under Egypt. But they surely didn't have a problem with getting Midianite women who were black, right? Moses' wife was a Midianite. She was black. They had no problem taking Midianite women. They had no problem taking Moabites.
Same difference.
But you see what I'm saying? So that there is indeed slavery in the Bible. In the New Testament, obviously the Romans had slaves. There was a thriving slave trade. Slavery has been around as long as mankind. Different races, different tribes, different places, but it is humanity's urge, I guess, to enslave one another, because labor that's enslaved is cheap.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I believe the goalpost has been moved so many times in here, I don't even know where to begin.
What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? What did I tell you? He wasn't paying attention at all. So this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. She took way too long to explain the Bible to a Christian, and his RAM got overloaded. He started typing. He was typing stuff in the side chat. Now he says the goalpost has been moved. Now he doesn't actually understand what that means. He knows that when there's a conversation happening and it's going in a direction that he doesn't understand, he knows that people will say that to him. And so for him, that's a key. Oh, well, when there's stuff being talked about and it's somewhat kind of still similar, then that's a goalpost move. But if it doesn't sound like anything that I've said, then that's a straw man. That's how that's honestly how he conceives fallacies. He doesn't actually, again, he's not reading anything. So she's not said anything different. She's expounded upon the different slave narratives in the Bible. You're talking about slavery. She's mentioning biblical stories. There is no goalpost move at all. You're still on topic. So it's crazy when a Christian reads him the Bible and provides more context by offering biblical stories. That's a goalpost move. Some Christian.
Okay, first and foremost, when we're talking about in servitude, we're talking about the laws that was made specifically for the nation of Israel and how to deal with their own people. You're correct when you're saying that laws are being made for people who are not Israelites. Okay, now when you're saying that a person would be, let me make sure I quote you correctly. You said that a person would be a person's sex slave or would be.
What I'm saying, dude, is that when I go to work, I have a choice.
Nobody's reading.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That nobody's reading any scripture here, because when we're talking about
she literally just like so Sister Sunshine, who was referring to biblical stories, okay.
All that's being put to the person here. It says that if the slave doesn't want to go and he loves his master, meaning he wants to stay with them, It's not some loophole or anything like that. If the
it's if he has a wife and children, those, once he's freed on the Jubilee year, the wife and the children still remain the property of his master. If he wants to stay, he can, but he forfeits his right to any future freedom under any future Jubilee. Right. So he's put in a no-win situation. He either leaves his wife and kids as slaves, or
that's not what it says.
He wants to stay with his wife and kids.
G-Man says that wasn't in the Bible. G-Man claims that that's not what the story says.
He has to give up his freedom.
You see, G-Man, it is kind of the catch-22. G-Man, it is a catch-22 because this person's family is also within the property handle of the indentured master-servant type of deal. Yeah. If it's his contract that is up, but his wife and kid not,
according to what
he has to make a choice.
My point is this. Can I make a point?
Scripture. No, I wasn't even done yet because I was in the middle of talking. Then Brett started.
Go ahead, G-Man. Go ahead.
It's not a catch-22. If you read the scripture for what it actually says and you don't add to the scripture, this is what it says. If a person loves his master and does not want to leave, the master can put it all in his ears and he will belong to him for the rest of his life. That person would still be bound to the Mosaic law. You have not demonstrated how the person owning that person is immoral in of itself.
Well, okay? G-Man, what you're pointing out is absolutely right. It's true, but that's not the only passage in the Bible.
No, but that's the passage. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I don't believe in going from topic to topic to topic. I believe that you stay on one of them at a time. And when we're talking
that's bullshit. No, the fuck you don't. Like, who are you? Okay, like really? Okay, so let's go to this. Let's go to this. It's in Exodus. All right. I gotta go back. Okay. This is Exodus 21, by the way, if y'all want to follow along. All right. Exodus 21:1. These are the laws you are to set before them. 21:2. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve you for 6 years, but in the 7th year he shall go free without paying anything. 21:3. If he comes alone, then he goes free alone. But if he has a wife, when she comes, she is to go with him. 21:4. If his master gives him a wife and she bears sons and daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to her master, and only the man shall go free. This is 21:4. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and children, and do not want to go free, 21:6, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl, and then he is to be a servant for life. 21:7, if a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners because he has broken faith in her. 21:9. If he selects her for his sons, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. 21:10. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. 21:11. If he does not provide her with these things, she is to go free without any payment of money. And it goes on and on and on about these laws. Okay? He can go free, but if he loves his master, then he can stay and he'll be a slave forever. And so part of the issue here is that he's reading. Let me go back to the specific verse. He's reading Exodus 21 and stopping at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9th word. And he's not reading anything else. Like he stops reading right there. Which is interesting for somebody who claims to be biblically literate. Interesting. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and my children and do not want to go free. The next verse, then his master was taken for the judges, and then all that shit. And he's a servant for life. But right before that verse, if his master gives him a wife and she bears sons or daughters, a woman and her children belong to the master, and only the man shall go free. See, it's weird that he focuses on Exodus 21:5, but the verse right before it is the catch-22. It's right there. Now, Exodus 21:5 is the result of the catch-22. He doesn't want to actually discuss it. That's why he skips Exodus 21:4. So it's clear to me that we know that he's barely literate, but he's also a dishonest fuck, because the verse that they're talking about is 21:4, not 21:5. 21:5 is the result of the decision. 21:4 is the option. Skylar, I heard that you got a copyright issue with. So tell you what, Skylar. Mikasa Sukasa. If you want the streaming key to my channel, man, it's yours. You produce better content than me, honestly. So let me know. And somebody please give Skylar the Discord link and pass that along. Feel free. You can still stream? Okay. I didn't know the results of the Keen activity. So just know that if worst case scenario, I've given, Tyler Durden my stream key. It's fine.
Okay. Let me address you.
Hold on. I'm almost done. Just give me a couple.
So just a quick recap. So the issue that Sister Sunshine and Raging Atheist and others are bringing up is Exodus 21:4. This retard's talking about 21:5. He's on the verse after the one that they're talking about.
Okay. All right, okay. He has to demonstrate some type of absolute moral authority on why he believes that these things are immoral. You just can't say, well, I just believe indentured servitude is wrong. Well, why is it wrong?
Well, here, this is what it actually says. When you acquire a Hebrew slave, emphasis on Hebrew, he shall serve.
So she's going back to the beginning. She's around, I think, 21:1 or 21:2. Okay.
6 years. In the 7th year, he shall go free without payment. If he came single, he shall leave single. If he had a wife, his wife shall leave with him. If his master gave him a wife and she has borne him children, the wife and her children shall belong to the master, and he shall leave alone. But if the slave declares, I love my master and my wife and children, I do not wish to go free, his master shall take him before God. He shall be brought to the door or the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall then remain his slave for life.
Forever.
Okay, so what's wrong with that, though? That's what I want to know. What's wrong?
If he loves his wife and children, he stays. Do you see what I'm saying? That's a no.
See, you're having to explain something very simple to a simpleton, but what y'all don't understand is that, and this is probably what people on the panel and people listening, everyone here understands what the fuck's wrong with that. Like, now we don't have to have a conversation about why that's wrong. Let me kind of inform y'all on who we're dealing with here. This creature doesn't love anyone but himself. Okay? This thing, this cretin, only exists to gratify himself. The reason he doesn't understand any of this is because he has no such attachments in life. He doesn't have anyone that he actually cares for like that. That's why he doesn't understand this. He's had to make up having a family. For those of you who are just now tuning into my channel and who don't know, I've reviewed this fuck for years. This last summer, I've caught him on 3 different occasions making up having a family. And some of it's still in his fucking channel. Just think about that. Think about it. If you're in a casual conversation and someone says, hey, do you, and we're talking about having a family and morality, and someone goes, well, do you have kids? Trying to relate the scenario Some people say, no, I don't have kids. Some people, yeah, I do have a kid, I have a wife, or whatever, right? He's made up having a family and lied about it multiple times and has no compunction with that. None whatsoever. He wanted leverage in a conversation, so he lies. And he does this routinely. Because he can't, for the life of him, find someone to put up with that madness. Just think about that. Think about how fucked up in the head. In one of the earliest stories, he made up having a daughter with autism. Again, just to have leverage in a conversation. Who does shit like that? Just, do you know anybody who's that fucked up in the head? Who would make up having a child with autism? There are people in this community with kids with autism who heard that and who messaged me and who on the phone had a whole conversation about how fucked up that is, about them not being able to wrap their minds around this cretin and what motivation would cause you to do something like that. There are Christians in the background who have called him out on this. That's why he doesn't really do it anymore. But he's even forsaken Jesus just to one-up folks in the conversation. Again, some of y'all may not have caught these things, but he routinely does shit like this. This has nothing to do with him and Jesus. It's about himself. This idiot, this retard, this reject of humanity can't understand what's wrong with this because he is incapable of feeling that type of love and compassion for another human being. That's why he's having a hard time with it. That's why he doesn't understand what they're talking about. And that's why they're having this discussion. Because I want y'all, again, I've not listened to any of this, but I'm just providing some context for y'all who may be wondering, well, how the fuck why is this conversation even happening? Why doesn't he understand that? Of course a man would want his child and wife. Why would he just go somewhere without them? Because that's what he would do. Well, one thing, he would have a family because I'm lucky. I'm just lucky stars that no woman's dumb enough to let him inside them. But if such a scenario happened, he would leave them and abandon them because that's all he cares about is himself. That is absolutely it. That's why he's a fucking loser. That's why he has to look up how to handle rejection from a girl online. And they don't want the UTI. Yes, Geek Room, you are right.
One situation, he either leaves alone or
he doesn't know why that's immoral.
Family.
How is it immoral?
Can I please interject?
Yes.
All right, so
how is it immoral?
So when I go to work, right, I have a choice of where I go to work. When I go to work and I get a paycheck, I have a choice of whether or not I'm going to pay off this debt or that debt. And I do this based upon what I feel is most important at the time. An indentured servitude does not have that choice.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is, in very long terms, is that your autonomy will that if a person loses their human autonomy, then that means moral.
I am saying that no man is greater than me.
Okay.
I am subject to no man. I am my own man. That is what I am saying.
So he got on long terms. Did y'all think I was kidding about the low amount of RAM up here? Y'all thought I made that up? He just acknowledged what the fuck I said in my other video. And what Raging said was maybe 1.5 sentence? Like really? This is what I'm talking about. He didn't actually listen to what Raging said. He got the word autonomy from me. He had never heard the word before or ever used it. When I started speaking about bodily autonomy in reference to slavery, he picked that up. And so he's trying to have a flashback of our conversation because he thinks that's where Raging is going. And to some degree, yes, he is, on the grand scheme of things, referring to bodily autonomy. Yet, this idiot can only belt out fragments of previous conversations because he can't organically have this conversation. He can't actually listen to what someone's saying and then repeat it. Just as a summary, repeat back what's being said. Again, for those of you who do want to engage with this idiot, ask him to summarize what the fuck you just said. Ask him. But when you do, use very specific terms. I mean, be very concise, but use very, very specific terms. As concise as you can. Because you'll notice that he can't repeat it. Because he can't actually hold what you're saying in his head and then also hold his rebuttal at the same time. He could pick up key terms, make the rebuttal, hold the rebuttal in his head, and then belt that out as needed. So, tools of the trade.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is that if a person loses their human autonomy or their freedom, that means that it's immoral, then, right?
Yes.
That's what Matt Delonte said to me. Do you know what I said to Matt Delonte? What about somebody thrown in jail? Is that immoral?
Jail.
You can't come and go whenever you want.
If I was a person thrown in jail and I deserved it, I broke the law. I thought I could get away with it, and I went to jail, and I fully accepted my responsibility. I learned from that lesson, and I have not been back since.
Again,
yes, I deserved to go to jail because I broke into people's houses. I stole their shit.
That's not what
I deserve to go to jail.
You're raging off a straw man. You're not even dealing with what I asked you.
I
am answering your question directly, dude. I'm saying I am a person.
The person deserved it.
G-Man, please. All right, let's not turn this into a dumpster fire. I'm saying
85%.
I'm saying that I am a person that was thrown in jail. I accepted that because I did wrong.
You're ducking my question, and the reason why I asked you that question is because I know
he didn't duck the question. He answered, yes, it is immoral, but with the caveat that there are certain times we restrict each other's freedoms. Well, yes, I'm going to restrict the autonomy of someone trying to kill me. Obviously, see when y'all having these conversations, most of us reasonable adults know that if you're making the point that forcing someone into your servitude is wrong because you are violating their bodily autonomy, we're talking about within legal means, right? We're talking about their autonomy to do things that aren't destructive for our society. Like that's the way that's couched, in common parlance, right? For him, that he doesn't believe in charity. He doesn't believe in being charitable to anyone. A perfect example, and I referred to this in one of my other videos, is that if any of you watched on Nate Brody's channel, MP, the conversation that I, and Psychopath Atheist and Wolf King had about black people issues and all that kind of stuff. We were talking about the school to prison pipeline. And so the question that he had for me was, who do they put in prisons? And I said, criminals, prisoners. Now, well, Drag, that seems like a fairly mundane point. Where's the point of contention? What he wanted me to say is that they put black people in prisons. Well, yes, they do, amongst other people. Now, if we're going to have a conversation about the disproportionate amount of policing that leads to, this population versus this population, then okay, that takes a little bit of elucidating. That takes a little bit of context and nuance and some very specific examples and statistics to get into. But I know from my years of experience dealing with him, he's not going to do that. That's not what he's looking for. That's not. He wants lines. He wants canned responses. He wants to belt out bullshit for a narrative. So when I did not give that to him, and I acknowledge prisoners do go to jail, criminals go to jail. That's a true statement. He didn't like the fact that I didn't give him the response that he could use to then misrepresent what I said. And he got upset and rage quit. That's what you guys have to do. Don't fabricate anything. Be honest, but be very, very, very sterile with your responses. Sterile to the point that he can't misrepresent you, because when he can't misrepresent you like he's doing here, then he gets upset. And then that's when he rages and then say, you're playing word games and troll and all this other kind of stuff. No, you're not. You're guarding your words carefully and putting forth an argument as accurately as you can. And because he can't manipulate your argument, that causes him to become irate. So
when people are thrown in jail, they lose their autonomy.
Man, I did, and I deserved it. I deserved that. I deserved that.
The obvious statement that needs to be made.
All these new people dealing with him. It's fun to watch for me.
Society with free thinkers.
Because he would have quit by now.
And people with some moral development to own another human being is immoral. And anyone who gives you rules or guidelines on how to own another human,
how is it wrong?
In and of itself.
Immoral.
G-Man, there's a difference between a criminal being locked up for some injustice they've
Yes.
done over that of a person who
Wait a minute.
has done nothing.
Greg Keen making logical points. I love it.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy. So now notice, folks, notice that he had an issue, right, where people were conflating different types of slavery. Do y'all remember him saying that, well, no, there's nothing wrong with indentured servitude? They're talking about someone being incarcerated. That's not indentured servitude. It's not. So it's weird now because now he is having an issue with an arrangement where someone is enslaved, according to him, but it's not agreed upon by both parties. Did anybody catch on to that? Did anybody catch on to that? Speaking of moving the goalposts, again, folks who are not used to having these types of conversations, remember the points that he makes. Don't let him guide the conversation. When I speak to him, I guide the conversation. He doesn't go anywhere that I don't want him to go. The conversation goes where the fuck I want it to go. He responds to what the fuck I say. That's how you have to treat him. That's why he has never won a conversation with me, because I take control of it very quickly. And when he realizes that I always have the upper hand, he leaves. That's why I'm his nemesis, and that's why people watch me. Folks, if y'all want to engage the retard, keep him on a leash. Keep him on a short leash. Don't let him guide this conversation. Let him ask his stupid fucking questions, but remain on point. He has successfully moved away from where it was originally, because originally he wanted to defend the arrangement between two individuals, two adults, to engage in a contract where one would be subservient to the other. Now he is saying that it's okay because the autonomy issue now, the autonomy issue. Yes, that was Raging's point, that at its basis, you're removing the autonomy. And on its basis for that, that's why we say it's wrong. Yes, autonomy is removed to a certain degree when someone's incarcerated. But as a part of a society, you do agree that if I'm going to live here, I'm going to follow the law. And a part of that is having some of your autonomy restricted. That's a tacit agreement upon being a part of a society. Again, a finer point that he can't really understand. So this has moved away from you so far that he is dragging you down the same route that he wanted to take Matt Dillahunty. That's why he's mentioning Dillahunty, because he feels comfortable with continuously moving that goalpost further and further away and to put you in a pigeonhole.
That's what I do. That's just how I roll, you know?
You're not answering it. How is another human being in of itself immoral? Answer the question.
What is immoral? All right, ask me one more
How
time.
is it moral? Let me ask you this. How can you justify morally? How can you give me a
It's sad to see a black man argue for slavery. It is.
And power of life and death over a fellow human being?
I can
Sister, are you married? Because I love you.
I'm being serious here. Raging Atheist owns me as property.
Okay, ask me. I'll pay attention. Ask me.
So, for those of you just tuning in, Positively Godless, this was streamed on the 23rd of February. This is the plethora of great guests on the Raging Atheist channel. Oh shit! I got the top comment up here, or maybe it's just showing me because it's me doing that. Okay, there we go. But yeah.
Explain to me how that's immoral. That you own me as property in of itself. You haven't told me to do nothing. You haven't treated me a certain way. You haven't done nothing.
88%.
Explain to me, Mr. Evolutionist, who believes he's an animal. Remember this now, okay? I want everybody to catch what I'm going to do here, okay? How is you owning me in of itself?
He's grandstanding now. Yeah, he's near 90%.
Excuse me. I'll answer.
I'm going to answer it.
Can I answer? I'll answer.
God, he's doing a retarded fucking
I'll answer.
theme song now.
Even if I treat you like a golden fucking thing,
he's
dude.
not paying attention.
Even if I
he's
treat you
dancing
like
in the
a
background.
golden thing, the fact that I own you is.
Yes, the hypothermia wore off.
I don't own you. I don't own you. You are your own human being.
Why?
You are your own.
May I say something real quick, right, Gene? If there's any, Mr. G-Man, if no one in here finds this issue immoral whatsoever, my house has a lot of stuff that needs cleaning up. If anyone wants to do the moral obligation of cleaning up, I'd really appreciate it.
The reason why
This channel is The Raging Atheist.
regarding the end of itself,
Go sub it.
atheists are quick to say that something is immoral, but when we hold them to the when we put their feet to the fire and we start asking them to give us a basis for it, give us a definitive reason.
Because you are, I gave you a reason, man. You are your
People
own
have
human
given him
being.
a reason. He doesn't understand it.
Is this presuppositionalism?
He's talking about objective morality. He's basically
So mind you, there have been several conversations, and one of which, I guess, say fairly recently, Sock Account actually went into his room, G-Man's room, and explained to him his moral system. Now, I told Sokka before he went in, and I fucking tell Sokka, he doesn't listen, stupid Canadian, that Sokka, you are way too long-winded for him. You're going to have to try to put this shit in a sound bites and let him temporarily lead the conversation, because you can't expound upon points by talking to him for 3 minutes straight. But a 3 minute, or just even a minute and a half, honestly, I mean, to be completely honest, even talking at him for a minute and a half is too much. If you can't put it within 30, 45 second sound bites, it's gonna leak out. So Sokka had to end up retreading so much ground because he can only understand so much, and then he can only hold so much of what Sokka was saying, that the conversation went off the rails. I'm pretty sure y'all are shocked if y'all didn't see it already. That it got so bad that this retard kept changing the topic and then complained that Sokka was changing the topic. I can't make this shit up. We were sitting in my hangout listening to the conversation. We go, okay, yeah, he's going over there. Okay, now we're talking about being a more realist versus anti-realist, and yada yada, objective morals versus subjective, yada yada. And Sokka's already, we've already had these conversations, so we know where Sokka's going. And so and so didn't Sokka just say that like 3 minutes ago? Like he did just say that. Yeah, he did. Oh, the idiot can't understand it, so he can't form what does he call it? The point counterpoint. He can't counterpoint shit he's never heard before. And so this guy gets so frustrated. He ends up kicking Sokka out and just says Sokka was trolling him because he couldn't understand it. But he complains that no one wants to have serious conversations with him. No, people have tried, and people even recently, but he's just too fucking stupid is the problem. So if you're going to do this, have it in your mind, sound bites, very succinct sound bites. If you want to slow the conversation down, well, what's your basis for morality? Well, I subscribe to the deontological model. That's it. That's a sound bite. You know that he doesn't know what that is. So then you get a chance to unpack it, because he can't form the counterpoint for something he's never heard before. Well, you say, I'm a virtue ethicist. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Everything, whatnot. See what I did? So now you get to make bullet points. Well, basically, this, and this are kind of what we subscribe to, as opposed to these other systems. Now, when you get a chance to expound upon, we'll just pick virtue ethics. I'm not going to enumerate the points on that because I can never remember them. But he's going to listen for certain things that you're saying. He's going to listen for the word moral. He's going to listen for you to set up an example that he can kind of pigeonhole you into something such as biblical slavery or something. He's listening for these things. So you have to keep in mind, no analogies. Keep it short. If you need to expound upon something more, use jargon. I'm telling you, use jargon that you know that he doesn't know. Use multisyllabic words that you know that he can't pronounce. When you do that, and it's still on topic now. Just don't make up shit, but stay on topic and do that, because he has to dissect that. He has to digest that in his mind. And so you're forcing him to kind of do a retard version of the Socratic method. That's how I lead him in conversations. That's how I do what I do, because he can't do his stupid fucking, what he calls tactics, on shit he's never heard of. So there you go.
They ask him, what basis do you form or
Hey,
foundation?
Victor E. No, I do not own my child. I raise her. I do not own her.
What I asked you. How is it wrong?
No, I'm responding to a chat question.
He's responding to text.
G-Man, I can answer your question.
Go ahead.
Why is it immoral to own another human being? Because we're made in the image of the gods.
Yes.
And we're a free moral agent.
Yes.
And we have a spirit and a soul. And
even me, the reprobate, has
you just don't own. You don't have the right. All people have an inherent right.
It's crazy that the hillbilly from Kentucky is arguing with the black dude over slavery. I don't. Ancestors, forgive him, for he knows not what he does. Him has the stupid Anansi, forgive him. No, actually, Anansi rains spiders on his dick. Thank you.
The gods,
right?
God, in your case.
All right, guys, hold on. Before you establish morality and all this, can I still get my house clean?
No.
Wait a minute. According to who, Von Helton? Von Helton said because we're made in God's image, right? I get that and I understand that. Now, if God tells you that it's okay to own a human being for 6 years and then on the 7th year you got to let them go, how is that immoral?
Only Hebrew.
That's speaking of Jews, dude. It's not speaking of everybody else.
Everybody else.
I'm going to let Sister go after I answer. Hold on. I'm going to let Sister go.
Yeah, he's at 90% right now.
Listen, G-Man.
So all the chatter, all the crosstalk, and him jumping around animated, he's around 90% full retard right now. So be looking for that, because he's about to pop.
Let me tell you something, and I'm not saying this to offend you. I'm not saying this to offend anyone. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you how it is, okay? If some entity came to me and said, you must make a slave of G-Man, for whatever reason, I would say, I rebuke you. You're not a real God. You're a demon, and you're trying to deceive me. That's what I would say. Because you are a free spirit. You have a right from the gods to be free, not to be enslaved by anyone.
You have every right to be wrong, G.
That's what I believe.
Exists today, yes or no? Von Helton.
What?
Slavery exists today, yes or no?
I don't care whether it exists.
Does it exist? Yes or no?
I don't care whether it exists.
I see you.
I believe it's wrong, inherently wrong. I don't care whether it exists. I don't care who's doing it. I believe it is inherently wrong.
Wow. Like that's Von Helden is the one advocating for more like the immorality of slave. Just what the fuck? I've reached bizarro world. Like that's jeez.
Men are created equal. And that they're endowed by their creator with the right of life and liberty and
fucking Mandela effect?
Do you have liberty if you are my slave? No, you do not.
I don't have a problem with that. So anyway, Sunshine, let me ask you, Sister Sunshine, because me and you, I think me and you can talk and have a civil life. Look, okay, check it out. Do you support slavery? Yes or no?
Yes, only white women on the panel. You and I could definitely have some civil discourse now, couldn't we?
Any form of slavery whatsoever.
I will tell you, I don't support it even among any sentient being. I believe that the enslavement of animals, as we currently do, is wrong. To enslave dairy cows, to forcibly impregnate them, to steal their calves, to take the lives of pigs, to take the lives of chickens, to steal their eggs, to confine them in any way. Any sentient being, whether it's human or animal, another sentient being has absolutely no right over their agency, their free agency, to live their life the way they will. it is wrong.
Right.
So enslaving an animal or a human, in my opinion, is absolutely wrong.
That's why
so you're against every form of slavery. That means owning animals too. Then, so I got to ask you this question: do you have a credit card?
Do I have a credit card?
Yes.
Debt slavery.
What is it?
Now, do y'all remember yesterday when I said that he doesn't know the difference between literal and figurative? Who remembers me? Just put a thumbs up in the chat if you remember that I told you all that he doesn't know the difference between literal and figurative. And the example that I gave you was that he thinks having a contract or owning debt is the same thing as being like a chattel slave. Figurative slavery versus literal slavery. He conflates the two. How many of y'all remember me saying that? Just put thumbs up, whatever, hand emoji, it doesn't matter. How many of y'all remember me saying that? It's a quick straw poll. Okay, now, what do y'all think that he's about to say to her right now? Who here has an idea of where do you think that he's going with this? Again, I've not watched any of this stuff. I've not watched any of it. I just know this motherfucker a little bit too well. So let's listen.
Credit card. Is a credit card sentient?
Are you in debt? Yes or no?
Of course, everyone's in debt.
Well, then you're slave.
Is my credit card sentient?
Are
Are
there people in debt to you?
No, I don't think so.
So nobody owes you $1 or a quarter?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty stingy.
Congratulations that nobody owes you any money. You yourself said that you owe other people money, so that means you're
sure.
What did I say? I told y'all. Y'all think I make this shit up?
Because I know you guys like to quote the Bible. Jesus says that whatever you obey will become your master. Did you know that? This word slavery, the slavery we're talking about here, is very broad in meaning. You could be a slave to sin.
Yes. So again, when he says it's broad, I mean, I conflate these terms all the time because I can't tell the difference because I'm a fucking idiot. So here you'll listen to what he's saying. The things that he's going to try and bring up are figurative forms of slavery when the topic is literal slavery. He can conflate the two all the time because it works for his argument. But notice earlier in the conversation yesterday when I pointed out he can separate the three types of slavery. He knows how to actually separate them now. He knows, right? But then when it comes to the literal and figurative slavery, they're both the same to him. It's almost like he's being dishonest. It's almost like he's bullshitting.
And it's a righteousness.
I would say that in the terms of the discussion that we're talking about,
you can't say that all slavery is wrong. Because I obey my master, my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. And you're laughing, though.
Yes, Trevor, he's the one building the straw man. But he will deny that he is because technically it's still slavery. Technically. It's fine if he's departing from what she's saying and that she's giving context to the obvious discussion of physical motherfucking slavery with, again, where she said sentient beings. If sentient beings aren't a part of the equation, you've moved away from the conversation. You've departed from the context of the original discussion. Notice that. Mr. Projection Screen himself.
That is just straining to split that hair.
Man. He has a very broad meaning and understanding.
Amen. Why does the most powerful entity in the universe need a slave? Why does the most powerful entity in the universe need a slave?
Von Hilton, why do you need animations for horse vaginas? I mean, I'm kind of curious about that, but that's neither here nor there.
Slave.
You're talking about God? Yeah. Why did he need servants?
Why?
Your question, Von Hilton?
That is a legitimate question. Why?
I can name several pagan gods that have servants.
Why does God need a starship, man? Come on, why?
We can start with Aphrodite. We can start off with Demeter. We can
G-Man?
Well, that was sex related. I ain't got a problem with that.
Let's cut this off. I
like sex. I ain't gonna lie. I like sex, man.
Derek has tried to get a word in. I want to let Derek speak. Derek, go ahead.
And by the way, if you're an employer and you have employees, they're your slaves too. Okay.
I don't agree with that, but
disagree
please,
with
Derek,
that.
Derek, jump in.
Again, figurative versus literal. He doesn't.
Prove it.
All right, G-Man, okay, I love you, dog. I love your passion. Let's let Derek speak. Derek, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to point out, it seems at this point we're kind of devolving into this kind of semantics of, any sort of obligation that you have in life that is equated to being a slave. Like, I have to eat 3 times a day so I don't die. So am I a slave to food? Am I a slave to calories and carbs? Like, I'm just wondering where we draw the line with, since everybody's a slave, like, how arbitrary are we going to get with it?
Right. Are we slaves to air as well? Jeez.
I put something here in the live chat. It says, "LOL, nobody gave me a basis, so it's wrong because you said so."
Is this presuppositionalism?
Nobody still has given me a basis
No.
for morality in order to tell
An
me.
argument from ignorance.
No. It's not a bad argument. You're going to tell me that indentured servitude is wrong, that this is wrong, and this is wrong. You want Darth Dawkins to come in here, who's a presuppositionalist, and you can't even give me a basis for your morality. That is going to be the quickest conversation you've ever been in your life. Because you don't have
You gotta call Daddy Dawkins. Why did Daddy Dawkins got to come in and save him? Man, Daddy Dawkins is at it again, man. I tell you, these boys love him. Well, that's weird because he has an invitation. He's actually in my Discord, but he's never hopped in the voice chat. Well, everybody's equal in my Discord, so something tells me that he ain't coming in and chatting. He sees Ozzy in there. He sees other people in there too, but he don't want none. So you can call Daddy Dawkins when he's in a room where he has mods and shit, but when he doesn't, he don't last too long. Crazy. All right. So I'm going to skip to 4 hours, 31 minutes because this is AIDS on a train, actually. AIDS on a train. Yeah. I can. That's close enough.
Yep. I'll tell you what. I'll find it. Hold on. I'll read it.
Numbers chapter 31, verse 17 through 19, G-Man.
Numbers what?
Numbers chapter 31, verse 17 through 19. Okay. You will probably recognize the battle between the Mennonites and Moses.
I got it.
Number 31, what? 17 versus what?
Numbers chapter 31, verse 17 through 19. I'm not just doing this for you, Bob.
Now, therefore, tell every male. I'm actually going to read this out loud pretty boldly since I deal with this.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so it says now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. But the women, but all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with them, that would be the virgins, keep them alive for yourselves. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever have killed any person, and whosoever have touched any slave, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. How is that immoral?
Well, I'm just telling you about the passage, and that actually indicates the captivity.
Just that you kill kids and rape women. That's good. Am I
immoral about that? What's immoral?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, God can do whatever He wants. But
so you'd be all right. So you'd be all right.
On her, and she has to prove that is
immoral. Wait a second. So you'd be all right if somebody rolled up to your house, killed you, your son, your wife,
no
took your virgin daughter, who may be just 10, 11 years old, gave her a couple weeks to cry.
So here we go again. Sister Sunshine laying it out. Again, he has no problem with that because he has no actual attachments to people. This creature does not feel compassion for other people like regular folks. So when you're trying to appeal to this thing's humanity, there is none there. And methinks that he's going to respond and it's going to appall quite a few people.
Cry over your loss and then rapes her. You're down with that.
Wow.
You're okay with that.
Oh, okay. Number one, no rape is going on. That's number one.
Oh, really? So you think these...
What? Didn't he just fucking read the goddamn passage? What? Hold on.
Every male among the little ones and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. But the women, children I'm sorry, but all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with them, that would be the virgins, keep them alive for yourselves. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever have killed any person, and whosoever have touched any has touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. How is that immoral?
Well, I'm just telling you about the passage.
I know about the passage.
That actually indicates the captivity.
Nothing immoral about that. What's immoral about
Well,
that?
as far as I'm concerned, God can do whatever he wants. But
So you'd be all right. So you'd be all right.
On her, and she has to prove that
So
it's immoral.
wait a second. So you'd be all right if somebody rolled up to your house, killed you, your son, your wife, took your virgin daughter, who may be just, 10, 11 years old, gave her a couple weeks to cry over your loss, and then rapes her. You're down with that.
Wow.
You're okay with that.
Oh, okay. Number one, no rape is going on. That's number one.
Oh, really?
Well,
Really?
rape
So
is
you
okay.
think these women are just falling head over heels in love and spreading their legs for some guy that just slaughtered her entire family and burned her village to the ground? You think she's getting hot and sexy over that?
Like just like this, like so right now, if this is a 4 hour 32 minute mark, 37 seconds. Yes, Sister Sunshine TV's face is just flabbergasted. Like she is just like she's actually leaning forward a little bit because he has no like the context to take the fucking women. It's like, what do you think that they're taking exactly? Why do you think that they got to be virgins? Why is that important in any of these exchanges? So let me tell you, folks, he understands what that verse means. He's playing dumb right now, but people have told him what that verse means. Christians have told him what that verse means. So let's listen to his response.
You think she's really wanting to lie with that guy?
About a straw man. I know you're getting emotional about a straw man. You know what a straw man is, by the way?
I don't think she's straw manning you. I think that I'm in love with Sister right now. She is great. I think she's awesome.
Ignorant. Can I explain what's going on here?
Go for it.
Okay,
Yes, please.
ma'am.
Context.
Yeah,
give them the context, please.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, I know the ignorance in here is just mind-boggling, right? So
I love being ignorant.
Definitely is.
What's ignorant about where it says keep her for yourself?
What time?
Let's let G-Man speak. Explain yourself.
Keep her for yourself. Why does that need interpretation? It's pretty plain.
Okay, so I got plenty of pagan books over here, Von Helton, that I can actually read.
Uh-oh.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to take something out of context, and you're going to feel the need to try to defend it.
How is that out of context? It says right there, they kept the women for themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
well, let's give the man a chance to.
G-Man, explain.
And
it's only the virgin girls. You don't want a dirty woman
girls, right.
who's
I love you, Sister, and I love Von Helton. Von, right? You are awesome. You are awesome. Let's let G-Man explain.
Okay, great. So again, in wartime, if the Israelites went over to the Midianites and did what they did in terms of like going to war with them, the women that had sex with the men and whatnot, those people was to be put to death. But the virgins they was allowed to keep. There's nothing immoral with that because in wartime, actually, God would normally have them wipe them all out, the men, women, and children. You atheists believe in something called tribalism, and it's actually historical.
So genocide. So
yes, you could be killed. We're gonna rape you instead.
Rape of virgin girls, of little girls, potentially children, is a step above genocide, and you're down with either of these.
No, I like to just finish a thought and have you listen for a change.
Well, she's asking, G-Man. All right, G-Man. Okay, chill out. G-Man, she's asking a legitimate question.
No, I'm not even done answering the first question.
Well, answer, please. Okay, finish. Have your voice, dog. Finish.
Okay, so be quiet then so I can answer it then, okay? Yeah, okay. So according to the text, I don't care about your personal opinions. According to the text, it says that if a woman was married if a woman knew a man, okay, that those people were to be killed and whatnot. But the virgins were to be spared. In those days, in that culture, you know what I mean? You normally, the men, women, and children would be completely wiped out. In those days, it was understood that you can keep the virgins for yourself in the sense that when you got with them, they would convert over to what it is that you believe. All right.
So Judaism by injection. Judaism by injection, right?
I'm not
so they're going to convert by the power of the penis. That's what you're.
Okay, so anyway, man, I'm not done yet. I'm actually in the middle of talking. And that's
I love Sister Sunshine.
G-Man,
I love her.
To be respectful, people do need to interject. I mean, I want you to have your voice, but people do need to be able to get in.
Like it's correct. Like he wants to interject when other people are saying shit, but he doesn't want anybody to interject when he's talking. Fucking child.
What you want to do is you want to straw man my position. So you don't mind if I do that to you then?
Well, no. I want you to have your voice. No,
so I see Vegeta in the side chat. Can we remove G-Man and where's his Tard Wrangler? I think I was busy at the time, and he runs out of hangouts when I come in. So actually, quite a few of these people do.
G, I'm the raging atheist. I love your passion. I want you to speak, but I just want other people. I just want other people to be able to speak as well.
These channels. Let me finish saying what I was saying.
Okay, finish, but then let Sister speak, let Carlton speak, let Derek speak, let Brett speak, let Jesus the Lord speak. Okay, go ahead.
Over there, I can read it for you if you want.
Okay, please.
So the bottom line is this: there was nothing wrong with keeping the virgins because in the cultures back then, it was understood that you can do that. Okay. Now, you can laugh all you want. You know nothing about history. You probably know a lot about science.
I know a lot about history. I do know a lot about history. I love history. I research it constantly.
So anyway, there is nothing immoral about you taking the virgin for yourself because
why not? Why is that not fucking immoral, dude? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. You triggered me. Go ahead.
You know what it is, raging atheist.
May I respond to something, folks, real quick?
No, I'm not finished.
Well, come on, G-Man. Time is money.
Time is money, G-Man. Go ahead. Go ahead and then let Brett speak.
No. I'm invoking something that I call the red line rule. You ask me another question and I don't get to answer it, it doesn't get answered. And then I'm going to go to another topic. All right?
Well, okay. Let's go to another topic. Let's let the woman and she knows what rape is. Let me. All right.
Are you going to mansplain to me what rape is?
So now I skipped to he's about 95%. I skipped to 4 hours 49 minutes. All right, so now Vegeta has entered the call. Black Vegeta has entered, and shit's about to go down.
Are you seriously going to mansplain to a woman what rape is?
I think this would be the appropriate use of mansplain.
Man, shut the fuck up, please.
Guys.
Man, with all due respect, men get raped all the time.
Yeah, I like you.
Great, G-Man, shut up.
Please, straight
don't make me mute you. I love Vegeta.
Please don't make me mute you, G-Man. I love you, dog. I didn't mute you. I don't know why you're not speaking anymore. I'm like on the other screen. Okay. Let's let Vegeta's up in the house. What's up, Vegeta? I'm gonna go get another beer.
All right.
Vegeta's up in the house. I want Vegeta to be able to interject.
Can I finish my point?
No, you can't. Before I say anything, I want to say this. Brett, I want to talk to you directly. I am surprised by what I've seen.
Okay, so I would like to actually finish my point.
Oh,
he muted him.
I was in the middle of my point, and he went
muted him.
Vegeta's still talking.
G-Man, come on, man.
Yeah, he's like 90, 95%.
I was in the middle of saying something, and you told me that this guy's a stand-up person. This is a stand-up person, Brett.
I have gained a little bit of respect for you.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this raging atheist guy. I was in the middle.
Not there. I was in the middle to get a drink.
I stopped this guy to come in here.
G-Man, raging and wanting to get him a drink. He's probably going to drop a piss. You got to give him some time, man.
But Brett, I was in the middle of speaking. You're turning into a hypocrite.
G-Man, you've been speaking for too long. You've not made a single point. I'm tired of this. Allow someone else to speak. You're taking up a bunch of time for no reason.
G-Man, I've already told you, you're awesome, you're epic, you're great, you're wonderful, and I
Jill,
definitely want to hear what you have to say.
Jill, honestly,
Vegeta, what's going on?
You know what? The next person
Honestly,
that
I will give you credit that you are nowhere near as obnoxious as G-Man, because at least you'll let someone else speak. At least.
This is my child prodigy, you guys.
Don't even associate me with you, you disgusting fucking cretin. All right, don't.
I love Vegeta.
After your disgusting fucking misrepresentation
This
of
cretin. You stole that from me, Vegeta, you stole calling these motherfuckers cretins. You stole that from me because I know you used to watch me, motherfucker.
And you're lucky I'm even speaking to you.
This. I see why people say this is drag light. I see why you see coming in here, just put that dick down, just slapping him with it.
This is one of those hang out where we're gonna be back.
Can I have the floor next, Raging, on this topic?
Man, I see why y'all calling him drag light.
No.
He mad. He gotta stand. He gotta walk around in his Dr. Evil suit.
You've entertained me for the past 20 minutes. So, G-Man.
Sir, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't know. You can be a petulant child.
I don't care. I'll leave you. I don't gotta listen to you. And then I will block you.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna block me?
I don't care what you have to say. Can I interject?
Can I interject?
Get back to that.
I just got back, guys. I just got back. G-Man.
I don't want to talk to him about finish my conversation with her. Period.
Well, I'm just saying, let's all be respectful.
I came here to talk to the white women.
Let's be open human beings, open to the other
discussions.
I'm going to mute him every time he mentions me. That's how I do things.
Yeah. Riveting.
All right. G-Man, speak to Vegeta. Vegeta
catch that block of Zulu.
So this woman is saying that God is condoning rape in the scripture. This woman is not giving
she's
us
engaged
scripture.
now.
She's giving her own personal opinion that is found in Numbers. These women are submitting to the will of these Israelites. She doesn't want to talk about that. Okay? In order for if these men did rape them, pay attention, man, because I know you never read the Bible.
Can you turn the game down, please?
According to the Mosaic law. Regardless of what your
Vegeta, that ain't his game. That's his voice. That ain't nothing to do with his game, man.
Opinion is, the Israelites are still bound to the Mosaic law. And I know you atheists like to have us do half-truths so that you can go back on your YouTube channels and say we said something that we never said.
I gotta do that for you.
That's why you're atheists. You're atheists on ignorance, not on information.
Can I make a point real quick about something that's not relevant to this conversation at all? G-Man, I don't want to take away from the relevance of your arguments, and I don't want to take away from Vegeta. I just want to point out real quick that I've been a bartender for 20 years, and I have popped a bottle top with my lighter for 20 years, and I'm having a hard time of doing that right now.
Because you drunk as hell.
Thank you.
That's rough, man. It's rough. D-Man, I already told you in this specific passage that was brought up.
It must be a Michigan thing. That's your people.
There he goes.
Well, I think you can still give me
Brent, because the bottom line is that I was talking to her. I was having a conversation with her.
You interrupted me. I was talking to the white woman. She's leaning forward. I can see cleavage. I'm distracted. I'm hot. I'm bothered. I gotta get the Dr. Evil suit.
Finish my conversation.
Well, I'm sorry, G-Man. I'm sorry, G-Man.
We need to talk to her.
I'm sorry, G-Man.
Somebody reach out to Sister Sunshine.
I know you was talking to Sister, and I love Sister. I think she's fucking beautiful. But Vegeta came in, and I was just trying to give Vegeta a chance to introduce himself, just like I did with you and everybody else that came in.
You're a moderator, a horrible one.
Regina, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because G-Man, hold on, guy. G-Man continues to say that I'm stopping him from talking to Sister. So what I'm gonna do,
I talk to my white women.
Break for about 2 minutes. Go slam my head in the fucking car door, and I'll be right back.
Yo, Brett Keen, you are just on a roll today, my dude. I'm like, props to you. You have been doing good for the past 30 minutes.
Okay, G-Man, you can finish with Sister, and then Sister can respond, and we'll let Vegeta jump in.
Well,
again, sound fair?
I'm straight up calling her a liar because she's saying that rape is going on. These women are willfully submitting to the will of the Israelites.
Well, his eyes are like fixed. Like if you, it's around 4 hours, 55 minutes, and about 30 seconds. His eyes are fixated in the corner, and I'm trying to figure out what he's looking at. I think he's looking at her icon. Like he's talking, but his head's moving, but his eyes are fixed there. Just maybe it's just me, but 4 hours, 55 minutes, around 30 seconds for a hot minute. Like it's just fixed there, and he's not moving. That the eyes aren't moving.
The will of these Israelites, and they're not being forced to have sex with them. This woman
getting blue balls right now, and I am not happy.
Add into the scripture which is a sin, and because of that, man, whether you or not, you'll be tormented day and night before God and His holy angels in the lake of fire.
He's still looking over there.
Which is a very serious thing. I know you don't believe that, but don't worry. Just like Christopher Hitchens, you'll know real soon of just how true everything I'm saying is and whatnot. Okay, so rape is not going on. Rape is not condoned in the Bible. However, you have a poor man, atheistic, antichrist mentality that tells you what you're saying is right. My question for you is this: is it possible that you could be wrong about everything that you know about the Bible? Yes or no?
Who are you speaking to?
I'm talking to her. I know you guys aren't listening.
All right, we'll let
they pay attention to you. Just let you pay attention to them.
G-Man, you asked a question. We'll let Sister respond. Then we'll let Wujita respond.
Yeah.
And then I would like to respond.
So a woman, a young girl, yet a virgin,
he ain't paying attention. He's walking away.
Has not known a man, sees her entire family, village, tribe, people, culture wiped out, murdered in front of her. Her head is shaved, her nails are clipped, she's held captive for a month, and you're telling me that she's willingly laying down and knocking the boots, bumping the uglies with this guy that just killed her whole family. You're telling me that you seriously think that this woman is acting in any way other than complete self-preservation?
He's staring at cobwebs.
That, my friend, is coercion. That, my friend, is rape.
It's called war.
Yes. And as someone who was a previous war fighter, you can rape people in war, and it's still fucking wrong. Like what? Just the fuck, dude. Really? People still get in trouble for that shit, and it's still fucking wrong. Even if there were, I don't know, Geneva Convention laws and shit like that, it's still rape. Like it's war. Well, okay, cool. If I come and fuck you in the ear while I'm killing people around you, that's still kind of fucked up, right? You know, what kind of response is that?
Jesus is Lord. Let her think it's rape. When she goes to a theology school and say that's what theologians or something like that, she'll be laughed out of the building. But anyway,
and the theologians will tell you, yes, that was customary, and it was still rape.
How many years
of theology it was still law, but it was still rape. It doesn't stop it from being rape.
God, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not trying to silence you, dog. I love you. I do want to let Wujita.
He's not actually said what it is, if y'all noticed that.
I said that I would give Sister a chance to answer, and I want Wujita to be able to interject. And anybody else that wants to interject, Derek.
Yeah, me. Can I?
So Wujita. Wujita, Jesus is Lord, and then whoever else.
I'm skipping past it.
Right back.
He's a retard. I'm not.
Order.
I can only deal with so much retardation.
I'm going to start with nice to meet you. I'm going to try and be cordial. And hopefully we can be respectful. Now.
Who is he talking? Like he's doing shit in the, he's pretending that there's people behind him, and he's doing the who is he talking to? Oh, that's cute. Man, only if you actually had people in your real life that you could do that with, but you don't because you're a loser.
I'm going to start with a very basic concept. Why do you believe the Bible is true? What is your claim? And I will not give you any idea of what my religious affiliation is. I will ask you what is that justification?
Are you an atheist or you're a Christian?
He just said
I just told you I wasn't going to tell you that. I'm going to be
literally just said he wasn't going to give you that.
A blank slate so that you cannot have any bias.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to answer your question.
Get off the table.
I'm sure you can do better.
Vegeta got badass kids.
I'm not going to know if you're an atheist or you're a.
It's not relevant to the question I asked you. Now answer the question.
No, I'm not going to answer your question because I don't know what you are. You're going to be honest.
Doesn't matter.
He's trying to pull Matt Slick now. Because Matt Slick needs to kind of prime people up to see how he's going to answer. Now, that's interesting. Vegeta came in, he did his research. My brother did his research.
Talk to me at all.
What are you fucking talking about? My question is, what is your justification? It doesn't matter what.
Are you atheist? Are you a Christian? What are you?
Jesus Lord has said he's been a teacher of a lot of things. He makes shit up. He ain't doing
Jill, I don't give a shit.
Well, that's
If you're not going to answer the question and be dishonest, then you're more of a petulant child than I thought.
Yeah, whatever, girl. Whatever.
You need to borrow soap, Vegeta, to clean out your mouth, your potty mouth.
And you're going to need a fucking tampon to clean out your dirty ass. So I put a fat nut in there, boy.
Let me jump in real quick.
Laying it down. Damn.
Mujita, I love you, man.
Damn.
I think that you and Jill might have some history.
Somebody been playing the dozens.
Let's keep it respectful. I'm doing really good at not being a raging atheist tonight. So whatever criticisms you have, let's just stay respectful with it. I love you, dog.
Then let's keep Jill silent, and now I'm gonna ask you again.
Keep it silent.
What is your justification
He's
for
not
believing
going to
the
answer
Bible
your
is true?
question.
If he's not going to answer the question, then he's being extremely dishonest.
I gotta play something in honor of that. Hold on.
Atheistic game. You're gonna tell me what you believe, or you can go
There
back.
is no game. I already told you before I asked the question. I would not tell you.
But
It doesn't matter.
Your questions either. Then move on.
So even though I asked my question
Can I-
first, that's been unreasonable. All right, let's see what Jill has to
Not
say,
it.
since he'll probably actually say something.
Yeah, let's go. I want to go back and touch on the slavery issue, because I think it's either ignorance or deception.
I agree, Holy Spackle. The Calvinist Mafia are a little bit cut from a different cloth. A lot of them are. It's weird because from my interpretation of a lot of them, they're kind of sensitive. Like they like to kind of throw their weight around, but a lot of them are soft. Like when I mean soft, like bitches. Like I don't know how else. I don't know a nice way of calling another man a bitch, but a lot of them are bitches. Like I wouldn't actually speak to them in real life because they're so fucking sensitive. So I mean that's just. I mean that's some dudes. Some dudes aren't, in my view, masculine and able to have thick skin. So yeah, Vegeta lays it down like this. I fucks with Vegeta, like that kind of shit. Like you roll up on me like that, that's cool, because that tells me if you can belt out shit like that and just lay that down, then I fucks with you. I fucks with you. You know, you can dish it and you can take it. That is exactly the kind of shit that I like. That's the kind of shit I respect. He can have a coaching conversation, but he can also bye bitch, you know. So this mamby pamby. That's kind of why I was like I'm not reaching out trying to be nice. And like I understand folks who do that and they gotta watch the language and all this other shit. I don't care. All right, if you too much of a bitch, you can't handle some bad words, then I won't deal with you. So.
Whenever I hear an atheist speak about slavery in the Bible, first of all, I often see
experience being a teacher.
We're picking and choosing different. I noticed we started out talking about debt slavery and raging. If
we
you
started talking about that, when
perhaps you're Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so skipping past this because he's going to bring it to politics, which he knows nothing about. What's the other timestamp? Because If I want to listen to Jill say inaccurate things, I'll go fart in a fucking vacuum. Calling Jill argues slavery not very exciting. Yes, thank you. Lulz resumes. G-Man gets accused of harboring gonorrhea. Really? 5 hours 27 minutes. Okay. All right. 5 hours 27 minutes. Let's go there. Okay. Of course, people want to message me on live. 5 hours 27 minutes. All right, gets accused of harboring gonorrhea.
All sin against God. What are those sins? One of them is lying. Okay, and it says that all of us have done it. Every last one of us. You can't show me one human being that's ever existed besides Jesus that has never lied. Okay, I can do the same thing with adultery, idolatry, anything else that the Bible talks about that is considered sin. So that is my evidence. You don't want me kiss galloping, so I'll let you respond with your.
Okay. Another part of that question was to not be circular, and you immediately went to the Bible, saying that the Bible is evidence for itself. So I will ask you again to do the same without being circular. Thank you.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with circular reasoning.
And again, this is the same guy who was trying to circumvent logic. This is the guy who's going to put me in jail. This is the guy who's so much smarter than everybody else. Y'all heard that. There's very little commentary I can give. Like, and he thinks that I'm joking. If you want this for the soundboard, it's 5 hours, 27 minutes. Yeah, you might as well just say 5 hours, 27 minutes. And it's pure retardation, folks. Like, he thinks I'm joking when I say I don't need you in the room. I just let you speak. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't need to say anything for this shit. There's nothing wrong. The conversation's done. Conversation's done at that point, folks. Because if this bitch is too dumb to know what's wrong, why circular reasoning is wrong, yeah, he should have been swallowed.
So if I wrote down on a piece of paper that leprechauns are true, and I say because it says it on that paper, therefore it's true. And you say, well, what is your evidence? And I say, well, the paper says it, therefore it's true. So the paper proves itself. Does that logically follow? Does that circulation make sense?
No, it doesn't. And two things that you just messed up with that. Number one, that wasn't the example I gave. There was a claim in the Bible.
So remember, folks, I keep fucking Mujita. You're gonna learn. You can't give him analogies. He doesn't understand them. The fact that he just told you there's nothing wrong with circular reasoning, and then you gave him an analogy with circular reasoning in it, he can't connect the two. That's too much for him. He can't do it. That's why I keep telling you motherfuckers. I keep telling y'all, he doesn't understand analogies. I'm not joking when I say that. I'm not joking when I say he can't tell the difference between literal and figurative. He is fucking slow as hell. He does not understand. Quit giving him analogies. There's a reason he's a fucking loser. There's a reason he hasn't made shit of himself. He has an IQ of less than fucking 60. I'm not making this shit up. You guys can see this. He does not get it. His buddies have tried. There's a reason he can't look into the fucking Exodus chapter and shit that they're reading and understand what's in there. There's a reason. There's a reason why his life is the way it is. It ain't because ain't no fucking conspiracy. He's slow and he don't get many things. It's pathetic once you really think about it. But this is a prime example of the shit that I'm talking about. A perfect example. A perfect fucking example of why you cannot actually have an intelligent conversation. He lacks the intelligence part.
Bible, I tested the claim and it came out to be the evidence. Number two, the reason why my reasoning is correct is because statement, fact, evidence. Statement, fact, evidence. Statement, fact, evidence. It just goes around and around and around. If I did something different, it would be a different shape. When you say you believe in evolution, for example, you're going to say evidence, you're going to say research, you're going to say this, and it's going to keep going like this over and over. You'll keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. It's never going to change. So I don't have a problem with circular reasoning whatsoever.
All right. He doesn't understand what circular reasoning is, even though he was given an example. So,
you know what? I have a box of Lucky Charms in my pantry, so therefore the existence of leprechauns is absolutely proven. I dare any of you to talk shit about leprechauns because that box of Lucky Charms, well, hey, that's proof, all the proof I need.
Well,
I believe in the marshmallow gods of
I have a
leprechauns.
box of Lucky Charms too, so I know for a fact.
Hold on, let's hold off humor for a moment because let me see. G-Man. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this for you. We're gonna go 8. G-Man. Let's go
real quick before you start. I'm listening. Wujita, I want to come back to you, but I really want Cyrus to jump in this. Cyrus just got a conversation. So please, before we continue, let's let Cyrus jump in. Let's let Cyrus introduce himself, and then we'll go back to you, Vegeta.
Finish what I was doing with him first.
G-Man, so I'm sorry. You can be right after Wujita. I'm trying to be fair.
No. I'm not even going to remember what the man said.
Well, then I swear to you.
No, you're trying to just cause confusion.
Yo. I swear to you, I will let Wujita.
Okay, so he's just going to keep interrupting. I'm skipping.
I am not going to have a serious conversation with somebody regarding the Bible. I've even read it before.
Ooh, can I just keep... Holy shit, I could actually just...
Do you understand that?
And because he blocked me, there's no way to tell.
He blocked Sirius.
Interesting.
Raging, I didn't hear nothing the other guy is saying.
Yes, he did. Blocked. This is great.
This is going to be a terrible conversation.
This is great. Hey, Ocean, I have room.
So now, folks, if y'all are wondering, he's around 95%. Once he starts blocking people in the hangout, this is when full man-child mode turns on, and he's about to. He gets to the point where people just keep interrupting him because no one else can hear the other person when he's talking. People inevitably are going to keep talking because they can't hear him. Like he hasn't understood that. Again, it's not that he doesn't understand what's going on. He can't handle it. So he has to protect himself and put himself in a bubble. That's why he only has hangouts and he has little fuck buddies like Jill to come suck him off. Well, that and he likes dick. But that's what ends up happening. And then he gets frustrated because people keep over talking him. Well, what do you think happens when people over talking you and they're responding to the people who you can't hear? Well, like he hasn't figured that out yet. And then he gets frustrated and then he leaves. But guess whose fault that is?
Dog, please come in.
My fault.
I'm going to block him because he's a dragoon.
Let me speak. All right,
Vegeta's a dragoon now.
It reminds me of me. I think you might be misrepresenting Vegeta, so let's let Vegeta speak.
You're misrepresenting him? Oh my God, yo, you
dragoon. Well, I'm just saying Mike. All I'm saying is Mike. G, I love you, dog. I love you. I'm just saying Mike. So let's let Vegeta clarify, and then I'll let you respond. And I would really honestly like to hear Cyrus's thoughts on this. So we'll let Vegeta clarify himself. We'll let you respond, and then we'll listen to Cyrus's thoughts.
All right. Now, obviously, as I expected, because this is an interesting situation.
Being a petulant child.
Thank you for allowing me in Hinokusuchi, because I've wanted to meet G-Man for a while to just experience it firsthand. Now, obviously, I was just fucking memeing you a minute ago, and I also threw in actual facts from the story to show you that I read it, and I'd hoped that you would have been clever enough to see through the joking parts and actually see that I know the story. I smell drag all over this. Do I look like a fucking drag queen? Do you? Fuck.
No, there's a YouTuber by the name of Dragna who's going to be going to jail soon. All right, and I mean physical jail. I mean prison. And you are about to be blocked. I think that you're working.
How long has he been saying? Well, for what the G-Man, jail and prison are two different things. You don't like it. Anyway, it's going to go and I'll be physical shit. Bitch, you dumb. You're going to jail. I've had enough. I'm done. I did my 2 hours of this retardation. Oh my God. So folks look, I got this still of Miss Sunshine. She's raising the camera up. You can see all in the cleavage, and he's over there. Just y'all actually want to see this shot? Check this shit out. Look how he's looking. Like yeah. Look, man, he don't look too happy, does he? Him got a sad. But then I see this over here. So, I don't know. He's looking, man. Oh no. I'm going to jail.
I work for drag, huh?
You're a dragoon, and I'm gonna block you.
I'm a dragoon. What am I? I'm a fucking mythical creature now.
G-Man.
I think he's
G-Man.
Is he confusing
Can
you
I
with
say
working with
this?
dragon?
If I find out you're a dragoon, what should I do?
Chill out. Let's have some moderation. Sir, speak, and then I'm gonna speak. G-Man, then I swear I will let you respond, dog.
It is a vast drag queen conspiracy. You can't trust those drag queens.
I swear.
This conversation is a drag.
Time out. Stirs first.
Paul is a Vegeta.
And then G-Man, feel free, dog.
So I'm just gonna say this, since I can't hear G-Man anymore, which is quite pleasant, I might add. I have no context for anything that he's saying. So I'm just going to say that most drag queens have better fashion sense than G-Man. And that's about all I can say.
I don't think I'm really fabulous enough to be a drag queen, honestly. I'd fucking grab like clothes off the floor, sniff it to make sure it's fucking clean, put that shit on like any other fucking dude.
There will be no dragging in here. First rule of Fight Club.
And Brett King, I have a quick question for you that will determine my respect for you. Broccoli or cauliflower?
Oh, that's rough. I hate them both. No,
that's rough.
I actually like both.
You answered correctly. You get 5 points.
I like Vegeta. He is a dragoon now.
Hey guys, I'm interjecting real quick. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break. I do want to say I just shot Ocean a link.
Oh my god! So this has been a shit show. I've had enough. I think there are other time stamps. No. Okay, that's it. That's enough of this. This has been a shit show. If send out dragoons, go search forth, find the people in this hangout, make them dragoons now. Thank you, G-Man, for bringing me Vegeta. He blocks Ocean for what the fuck for? Like, what did the fuck Ocean do? Carlton's already a fan. We'll make him a dragoon too. You know, Vegeta's already a dragoon. Let's get Sister Sunshine. I need more white women as dragoons, and Cirrus is already a fan. So, Ocean offered information. Okay, well, he should know better than that. Raging atheist. So, we need to speak, sir. So, I will leave Raging. Actually, how about we do something fun, Mr. Raging Atheist? Let's see if I can email him or something. I don't know. Description atheism. We need to work on your channel, sir. I don't know. I don't know how to get in contact with him at all. Like, there's no email or anything on here. Let's talk death threats. How about you come holla at me sometime, and let me find my Discord link. There we go. Okay, I'll just put the Discord in here. Holla at me sometime. We should chat. How about this? Well, let's yeah, you can just send me his email or something. Come holler at him. That'll work. G-Man called Ocean. Everybody's a dragoon. Everybody who doesn't like him is a dragoon now. That's funny. It's a conspiracy that he made that we make a joke of. He's now wrapped in his. When you really think about it, it's kind of poetic. When you really think about it, he created a conspiracy for himself, right? He concocted this. Nobody else made this shit. He made it. And so now he's trying to come to grips with a conspiracy that he made, because now we've taken over the conspiracy and turned it into a parody, more or less, right? And it is hilarious to me that he hasn't actually caught on to that. There we go. I sent him an email. So, yeah, I just shot off an email to Raging. Let's see if he wants to be a dragoon now. So, yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know why everyone needs to be a dragoon, but everyone is now, so whatever. It's more fun, more join the joke. Anyway, folks, that's enough. I now get to start the day with a fucking retard filled mind. Like I don't. That was hilarious though. That was hilarious. Hopefully, those of you who do plan on, well, I don't, Vegeta, you might be shit of luck, because now he's pegged you as a dragoon and all this other stupid shit. So who knows? But if you do plan on looking at more of his shit and you want some tips on how to thwart bullshit, I don't mind reviewing stuff. I don't mind it. Yeah, if you ever just want to kind of look at some funny shit, go to his channel and look at his liked videos. Like, look at the video that he likes, and they're hilarious. That gives you, if y'all wondering how I pick up on stuff, he leaves breadcrumbs everywhere for me, and it's not hard to find. And then there's other people like Lusty McButt's fucking archivist. Okay, and so now that I've seen this, I get the video that he put on Marked by God where he's having a sad just so they can laugh at you, willfully ignorant.
You don't need it.
So now it's starting to make sense. So okay, even Carlton's on here. Okay. Carlton made a comment on here. I don't think you understand the difference between knowledge and belief. Well, that he doesn't. I asked you how you knew heaven existed outside of time and space, and then you then said it was because you have faith. Faith isn't knowledge. Faith is a belief. Knowledge is demonstrable. If you can't show it, you don't know it. I think it's an Arn Ra quote. Belief is just something you think might be true. That is what I wanted to get at, but other people jumped in and started going down other rabbit holes. I was really hoping to have actual conversation with you. Hopefully in the future, if you're up for it. Also, I appreciate you for not blocking me. Haha. And then Gabriel Hughes is responding to him and some other shit. As a square peg round hole. As usual, you're whining about being an obnoxious knucklehead and other people not wanting to put up with your brat antics. In a nutshell. In a fucking nutshell. That's literally it. He's too much of a fucking child to have conversation, and then when the adults go, you know what, you can fuck off, he's upset, and because we have to appease the man child, the pathetic man child who has to look up how to take rejection from a woman. Oh god. So anyway, he's in the dragoon. What's Warren saying? I don't know if I want to talk to him. I won't talk to none of y'all today, actually. Fuck y'all. I don't know. Let me see if my voice settings are okay. What do I have? That's weird. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Thallow Blue said you wanted to talk about something?
Battle Blue?
Thallow Blue.
I'm not aware of any. What did she say it was about?
She said that you were in the Dragoon chat and you wanted to talk.
Well, we were talking. I mean, I suppose she's talking about the females situation.
I guess I saw a screenshot with you saying something about females or something or other.
Yeah, I talk about that sometimes.
Yeah, probably best not to just call them all sluts. That's just my advice.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's kind of hard to get one to be your girlfriend or wife if you keep saying stuff like that.
No, but what if that was truly my assessment?
Well, there are prudes, so that would kind of make that statement false.
But deep down, are they prudes? I'm not offending all women. I know certain women discipline themselves, which is admirable. But I'm just saying at the root, is there not that desire in every woman?
Yeah, there's a desire in every human being who's not asexual to be sexual.
Correct. Exactly my point.
So it's I'm not sure where Because if you're saying that all women are sluts, then it's either all of them or just those who aren't asexual, which is kind of a tautology.
What if I were to say all men are sluts?
Yeah, well then all non-asexual people are sluts.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really saying exactly what it sounds like I'm saying.
You might want to word it a little bit better then.
I hear you, brother.
All right. So on that note, I'm gonna hop out of here.
Is that offensive though?
Yeah. I got quite a few of the women didn't care for that too much, and quite a few of the guys too. But anyway, I'm gonna hop out of here, and I got chemistry and stuff to do or something.
Well, hold on a second here. Because now we're talking about self-censorship here, right?
Are we?
Sure sounds like it.
Because they say you should probably rephrase something you said. That's censorship.
Well, I mean, no. I guess you're right. You're right. If I'm saying I didn't convey my message properly, and you're saying reword it, then fine. That's one thing. But what if I truly thought women are all sluts? Like, I'm not trying to fucking personally attack anybody about that. You're right. Maybe I should reword it. I should say all women have natural sexual desires regardless of their marital status. Would that be better?
Sure. That's fine.
All right. Okay. I got you. I appreciate it.
All right. I'm gonna hop out of here. Actually, Xavier, are you swinging by here anytime soon?
Where are you guys going?
To school.
What time is your class?
It's at noon.
Okay, I can swing by there in a little bit. I don't have my morning class because we're having our exam Friday.
Well, it is 11, so hop on it.
Actually, let me see. Let me double check because I keep getting this.
I'm just kidding. I'm trying to adjust for Texas time.
Yeah, there's one. So I keep getting this course and the other one confused at the times.
Okay. Can I just ask you, like, who took that particularly as offensive?
Everyone with a vagina and a few people who didn't have them.
Okay. I'm just finding my headphones. Hang on. 2 seconds.
I guess it's like if a woman says all men are pigs, is it the same?
It's still a generalization, and I disagree with that too.
Is this still online? Oh, it's still live.
Yeah, I'm about to end this. I just so happened to get in here. I forgot to turn off the thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm taking this off here.